But I think the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 6 3 2 9
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I am here with your co-host, Frank Pierce. And we would like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It is Tuesday night. This show is live. If you want to be part of the show tonight, the number to call is 702-957-1037. Go to troubledminds.org. That's the official website. You will find the phone number there and the Discord link. Discord is a voice client, a chat client. That's how Frank and I do the show. Join the Discord. You can be on the show tonight, tell us what's on your mind, and you can join the discussion that goes on 24 hours a day on the Discord. So, yeah, all right. We had technical issues on Sunday, so hopefully I've been monitoring some things. So maybe it's not the Chinese government. Who knows? Maybe it is. We have no idea at this point. But we are keeping an eye on things. So let's have a good one tonight and not get hacked by the Chinese. So there's that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. It's open topics. We're going to skip what we were going to do Sunday. We'll bump it to next Sunday. So it is open topics tonight. So if you want to be part of the show, do give us a call. troubleminds.org, the official website. That's how you find us. That's how you get on here. We'll do shout-outs shortly. And that's the agenda for tonight. So if you guys have some things that we missed or you want to talk about, you just show feedback, whatever, call us, tell us what's up. We're open to all that tonight, and that's what we're doing. So yes. Okay, so before shout-outs, everybody knows... Well, unless you're new, you don't know. But if you're new, you're in for a treat. Here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, your co-host, Frank Pierce.
Hello, my name is Frank Pierce, and we are back again for another exciting show. And I think if the DNC can say that Russia hacked their servers with no proof whatsoever, then we can definitely say 100% certain the Chinese are hacking you. They're trying to take our show off the air. Too critical of them. We've got too much good information. And speaking of good information, oh boy, do we got some good information for you to this. We have resurrection of people in South Africa. We have crazy experiments, life after death. We have UFOs, of course. How could we not have UFOs? We've got space news, NASA conspiracies. Oh, and what's this? We got witches. Yes, we have witch news. and we'll talk about that. That's a fascinating topic. We'll get into that. Tons of stuff, but this is an open show, so please do submit your links. You can do that on Discord very easily, or just post them in chat there. We'll pick them up. You got crazy videos, you got cool stuff to watch, you got interesting topics to talk about. Well, share them, and we'll do that together. Let's get into it.
Witches, you say? Does that mean we have the Trump transition team calling in, being part of the show tonight, or? Oh, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. So we got shout outs. We're going to do that. And again, so open lines. If you guys want to be part of the show, go to troubledminds.org. But we get shout outs for right now, which is Nick. What's happening, Nick? Long time no see, buddy. Nick gets first. We got Timothy. What's happening? Thanks for sharing, guys. Benjamin, Kelly. Thanks for being here. We got Rolf, Dennis, Brian. Hello, Brian from Burlington, North Carolina. Hello from Las Vegas. Kelly says, what's going on in here? I don't even know. We don't even know yet. Benjamin from Mars. What's happening, buddy? Thanks for being here. Philip, Southern Oregon, tuning in. Hello. Mark. What's up? Joe. What's happening, Joe? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mike and Frank. There you go. What do you say to that, Frank?
Good evening to you, good sir.
Good evening to you, sir. Okay. Julio, what's happening? Watching from San Angelo. I believe that's California. Joe from Spring, Texas. Joe, the other Joe, another Joe. Garth from the Saskatchewan, Canada. Holy smokes, that sounds exotic. All right, who else? Kelly wants to know why it has to be the Chinese. Well, we were talking about China when it went down, so that's a couple times now. I think that's coincidences twice, right? Or no? What's beyond a coincidence? Yeah, I don't know. A suspicious act. Let's say, Tara, what's happening? Thanks for being here. And Joe from Florida. Yes. Oh boy. Okay. Philip and Jose, what's happening? Okay. I think we're caught up. That's chat. So again, if you guys want a shout out and I missed you, type in where you're from in the chat and I'll read you out. We are watching chat on all the other things on YouTube, also on Facebook, of course, and stream.me and all these other places. Wait, tell me about stream.me, Frank. Tell me about that.
It went down. This is the issue. So YouTube bans people, Twitter bans people, all these big aggregators of content ban people. And sometimes they're banned unfairly. They're removed from these platforms very unfairly for their political views, or maybe they're just a little bit too spicy in their bants back and forth. But sometimes they remove the bad people. The people are actually really mean, really cruel. Anyway, what ends up happening is all these people end up going to these other sites like stream.me, which is we were streaming on previously, or Gab, or all these other places. And it turns those sites into a very negative area to live in. Does that make sense so far? When you take all the dregs of society and the unfairly banned people, we'll include them too, and you push them into these places, stuff gets crazy. So the site that we were streaming on, one of them anyway, some people, they felt it was their duty to dox, threaten, and harass the owners of the site, so much so that they threatened their family and they had to take the entire site down. So there you go. There is a YouTube alternative dead.
Okay. The whole thing's down? I didn't actually go check. You told me that a day or two ago, and I was like, what, really? I didn't go look. Okay, all right, so it's happening, guys. It's happening. Remember when Frank said a couple shows back, it might have been a week or 2 or 3 or 5 ago, I don't know, they all blend together, but Frank said the internet is getting smaller. And what he means by that is exactly what just happened to Stream.me. Taken down off the internet. Redacted from history. Why? Why do you think that is? Because you have to go through the gatekeepers. The technocracy, as we talk about quite a lot, which would be what? That would be YouTube, that would be Facebook, that would be Twitter, that would be Microsoft, that would be Amazon, that would be the huge tech companies that hold the keys to the digital castle. And you thought net neutrality was a thing, didn't you? Well, I got another thing coming for you. Okay, a few more shout-outs here before we get into the news. Julio from West Texas, what's up? I already said hi, but he's posting where he's from. Rajesh from Ontario, I believe that's in the Canadian lands, the frozen tundra, as they say. Rudy from Los Angeles, South LA. Tara, what's happening? And hold on, we got Todd. Oh no, Todd's here. Show's canceled. Just kidding. Karen, hi from Australia. Down under, yes, Australia. James from South Florida, and let's see, Rogelio. I think I said that right. Hello, hello. And Josh, there we go. I think we're caught up. All right, now that we're caught up, what are we doing, Frank? What's on your mind? What is bothering your, well, let's say troubling your mind tonight, sir?
You know, I'm not a very religious person, and both said that neither of us really are. But there has been a rise in paganism, in witchcraft, Satan worship. And the whole thing's kind of silly, in my opinion. But this has really been going on. There's a rise in these people who try to make pacts with demons and talk to the devils and make all these magic spells go. It's crazy. It's getting crazy out there. So I thought we'd look into witches a little bit. And we got a few interesting things here about witches. But let's pull up this first video. I don't know if we've played it before. You may have seen it. It's pretty famous. Just to set the scene, a Saudi Arabia police encounter with a witch. So let's pull that up. Let's play it. And then let's get into the more recent witch news.
Okay, I'm a mess here. Hold on. I got to find my news tabs. There we go. I think, is that right? No, that's not right. Oh, crap. Did I lose my news tabs? Oh, shit. Okay. Let's, oh, wait. That's got to be it. All right. Yeah. Totally prepared. Sorry, guys. Okay. One more time. What is this called, Frank? What am I looking for?
Saudi Arabia police encounter with a real witch. And this is pretty creepy. We may have played it, but let's play it again because it is amazing. Yeah, but these people are out there. Like, you don't think they are. You don't hear about it a lot, but this is on the rise. These people making pacts with demons. And we covered a little bit of it in our exorcism show, but there's some real stuff going on there. I don't know too much about it. But let's play this and let's talk about it.
There's some real stuff. I think you picked, what was this reported by? You'll have to excuse me, guys. I'm a mess tonight. All right. This isn't YouTube, is it? I don't see it.
Yes, it's in YouTube. It's the very most recent link. Maybe you missed it.
I might have missed it.
In the bottom there. In the media folder in the very bottom.
Yes. See? All right, guys. That's why I have a live call-in show. So, yeah, there it is. I missed it. This is the very bottom. Okay, we're going to put this up. But yeah, if we falter, we've got you guys to back us up, right? 702-957-1037 is the phone number. You can go to troubleminds.org. I'm reading that to buy us some time and join the Discord as well. And here we go. Saudi Arabia police
Actually,
encounter.
pause it. I want to preface this.
Okay.
Pause the video. Don't play the video. I want to preface this. We think that, no, stop. Don't play the video. We think that aliens are scary. We think that UFOs are frightening. And Bigfoot and monsters and ghosts, they terrify us. As you're watching this, remember that humans can be very terrifying too. Just keep that in mind.
Apparently so. Okay, now we're going to play this. Now that I found it, now that we're less of a mess than we were 5 minutes ago, here we go. We're going to play this sucker. Action. Okay, so, shit. All right, it appears to be a gentleman or two driving down the road in the darkness. We have headlights, and there is something out in the road that appears to be a person in a white gown. I guess this would be the witch. All right, here we go. Holy shit. This is scary already. Okay, so if you guys have ever seen The Ring, it kind of has that vibe to it. I don't know what's going on. There's dark hair for sure. It's walking in a bizarre fashion, like kind of swaying back and forth and maybe undulating a little bit. What the hell? No, we haven't played this one, Frank. This is new.
You can hear the terror in their voices.
Yeah. Like, what the hell's going on there? So we don't speak whatever language this is, but holy smokes, they are terrified. And this thing is coming towards them, whatever it is. White gown, dark hair, looks like arms up, and walking directly toward The Jeep. What the hell? That's funny, but it's not funny. I'm laughing because I'm not there. If I was there, I'd be crying. Okay, so this thing is walking toward the Jeep, and they're backing up away from it. It's coming towards them. What the hell?
And around the 249 mark, pay attention to what she's standing in front of. Around 249.
Okay, so it's at 2:07 right now, so we got about 40 seconds, and we're going to see whatever Frank's talking about. All right, action. Keep this playing. Okay, now whatever this thing, it appears to be walking off the road to the left of the Jeep here, and this is what Frank's talking about. There seems to be something like maybe some sort of altar, some sort of like witch sticks, bones. Okay. All right, they drive around in terror. All right, I'm gonna loop this, and we'll watch this. So someone filmed this in Saudi Arabia. They say this could be a real witch. Blah 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 blah. Is this entertainment? Is this real? So we got the sound off. I'll play it again. And yeah, what do you think, Frank? It's a little scary the way the thing's walking, but you know, this could be staged easily. Other than the terror in their voice, give them Academy Awards for sure.
Yeah, the terror in their voice, the cane she's carrying, the weird outfit, the long gristly hair, and the hunchback posture. If this is real, I don't know. If it's fake, it's amazing acting. I think we can all say that. We know that for certain. These people are scared. The noise that this creature makes, you know, we heard that a couple of times in the video. That is terrifying. And whatever this is, walking around in the dark. Now, there's a bunch of these videos, so we just pulled this one up because it's probably the most famous one. But people walking around the woods and they see strange creatures like this, always hunchbacked, always strange looking. Is this a little lost lady with Alzheimer's? You know, she just needs a ride home? Or is this a witch? Now, she is standing in front of what appears to be a graveyard. You know, you see those crosses. Although I don't think they bury people in Saudi Arabia with crosses, come to think about it. That wouldn't make too much sense. But there is something weird in the background there. It looks like a graveyard almost, to my eyes. Could be bones. I'm not sure. What did you make of that part?
Yeah, it looked like some sort of altar, maybe a graveyard, maybe, like I said, witch sticks or whatever's going on. You guys seen Blair Witch or whatever, how they stack those rocks and sticks in the out there in the wilderness? I have no idea. You can obviously tell I don't know what this is because I don't do witchcraft or anything of the sort because, you know, well, I'm straight-laced. Just like that. But yeah, I don't know. It was definitely something terrifying. Let's get back to that point real quick. So it's at this point coming up, the witch walks off the road to the left of the Jeep to her right, and it appears to be some sort of, yeah, like maybe a graveyard, or there's it definitely looks like some kind of altar ritual going on. It's creepy the way this thing moves, that's for sure. It's a good prank if it's a prank. I'll give it that. I'll give it that. All right, there we go. Let's pause it right there so we can kind of see what this is. What is this? Is that a graveyard? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Is this a good prank or what is this? This is Saudi Arabia. Does anybody speak, what language is that? You know what language that is, Frank? Saudi Arabian? Is that
Arabic.
Arabic? Would that be Arabic? Okay. Anybody speak Arabic? What are these guys saying? Give us a call. Let us know. We'd love to hear it. 702-957-1037. Open lines.
I think they're just screaming in terror, quite frankly. I don't think they're making any sense. I didn't pick out any words there, but what do I know? Anyway, this is something to keep in mind. So this may be fake, this may be real. It's intensely creepy, but there are people out there, especially in countries like the Congo and Africa, who are out there late at night doing strange rituals. Now, I've looked into these. We've looked into these magic spells the demon books, all this kind of stuff, demonology, the lesser keys of Solomon. We've looked into it, and to our uneducated perspectives, it's hard to parse. It's hard to make sense of, but you can see people on YouTube cutting their finger, making bloody circles and chanting strange things. But there really are people out there practicing this paganism, practicing witchcraft. And if this is one of them, I don't know. And this stuff, again, it's on the rise. So this is kind of troubling. It's very troubling. Troubled minds.
Okay, so Frank starts it off with a bang. Are you not troubled? Yeah, maybe not. All right, so what do you guys think? Real? Not real? What are we looking at here? Is this an actual witch? Again, we don't speak that language, so we don't know what they were saying, but they did appear to be terrified. Somebody in the chat, we had a couple people say, I would just run that thing over. What are they doing? Why are they going backwards and not straight at it? Which is true. Props to that. If you're into shoot first and ask questions later, God bless you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not so sure I'd run it over just in case it was a prank, right? And then you're like, oh, Molly, what happened? Why? You know what I mean? Okay.
I have to say that it wasn't acting. It was coming towards them, but it could be an old lady with Alzheimer's, right? It could be. But the minute that thing picks up its staff or cane and starts chanting or you're doing something, that's when you run it over. If it's just walking towards you, whatever. But if it starts mumbling and like waving its thing around and pulling a dagger out, that's definitely when you run it over.
Right, yeah, definitely. Or, starts casting a fireball at you. I mean, you got to interrupt the cast, right? Kick it. Boom. You know what I'm saying. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a good prank if it's a prank. Let's call it that. I'll call it that. Tara says, it's Hillary Clinton. Impressive gas pedal. Oh, geez. Oh, how do we get here? All right, so what do you guys think? Is this real? Is this not real? Is this a good prank? Is this an actual witch? What's going on with this? Does anybody speak Arabic or what would that even be? Maybe it's Arabic. Yeah, I'll buy that, Frank. It's Arabic. Kelly says, I collect magic books, ancient magic books. Tell us, man. Tell us all about it. We want to know about it. You know where to find us, buddy. Joe says, I would think any magic can be seen as the power of intention, which can be practiced as a simple prayer or someone killing a chicken.
That seems to be the consensus. There's a lot going around with seances. Seances where, how do I explain this? This is difficult. Most times in seances, people fake stuff. So the seers or the person leading the seance, they fake something. But other times, and so these are during tests, when people are actually testing and looking and recording. And it seems they almost have to fake something to convince the people there that it's real. And then after they fake it, so after they do the fake thing, which is confirmed, verified, people see them faking it, then the real stuff starts to happen. And there's been a couple of studies out, academic studies of these kind of things, where they have to fake something. And once they do, and once people start believing, once there's this intention that something crazy is going to happen, then the real stuff starts happening. And before this point, we've discounted the entire thing as fake because the person's faking something. And that's confirmed and verified. They fake parts of it. But then the real stuff happens. It's kind of a weird thing. And we'll have to look more into that. I don't know if you've heard anything about this or I explained it terribly, but intention does seem to be a part of this kind of stuff.
Well, meaning kind of like the power of suggestion, right? So you can't, I think they've actually done some studies on this. I don't know if it's anything's real, but it seems to be in the lexicon of thought anyway, at least mine. Let's just call this my crazy brain, the strange brain, that the power of a suggestion and voodoo has been known to trip people out to the point where you say you're going to die in 3 days, and in 3 days they die because they tripped themselves out so hard from the power of that suggestion, right? I think that's what we're getting at here, Frank. Something to that effect.
Yeah, in line with that, you have to believe in it. Let's put it that way. You have to believe in this stuff happening, and it actually does happen. And that's not only you convincing yourself to die like some kind of weird placebo effect, but that's strange lights appearing, that's feeling a touch on your back, that's all this kind of stuff.
Right. Okay. I'm with you. So, yeah, there's these things. So Tara says that these the witches I know don't do that. So if you know witches and want to tell us a little bit about this, Tara, give us a call. Or anybody out there that knows is familiar with witchcraft and can give us further insight, let's say. Please call us 702-957-1037. I'll put the phone number up here, and you can give it a gander and give us a call. Go to troubleminds.org. You can join the Discord as well. If you're already on the Discord, jump in the caller queue and get on here and tell us what's on your mind. And if this is real, or if you know anything about witches, or if this is something to be scared of, or if we're just tripping. Hey, we're just here talking anyway, right? We're just talking about this stuff. That's the point. If you don't talk about it, you don't know. You can't really parse the information and decide for yourself if it's real or not. That's what we're here doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we do. So, yeah, give us a call.
Here's a question for you. I got a question for you.
Shoot.
And this will rub some people the wrong way, but it's our show. We do that here. If you've been listening a long time, we definitely do that here. The witch hunts back in the day, I think the mainstream consensus is that these witch hunts, where, they drowned the witch, and if the witch didn't drown, then they burned her. They were all fake. They were just people misunderstanding things. They weren't real. It was just and attempting to kill things that people didn't understand. That's the historical consensus. What if it was real? We think the mainstream thinks that aliens aren't real. They think that UFOs don't exist, despite New York Times articles and Tom DeLonge and all these things we've seen with infrared. They say they're not real. Well, what if these witch trials, they were doing them for a very good reason? What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, these, I can't say, okay, personally, I can't say that I disbelieve in magic. Let's say that. Okay. So there are, like somebody in chat said, words have power, right? We've talked about this. Which one was this? We were talking about what episode was the words of power, Frank? Was that the possession one, or?
It's like Slender Man, or
maybe
the internet is.
Maybe, yeah. To where, okay, so like a point that Frank made, which is a great point, is that a magic spell is one thing, right? But how long or how short does a spell have to be? Does a politician weave a magic spell by getting up in front of a crowd and reciting a very well-written speech? Could that be considered a magic spell? Kind of a binding
Hillary
people?
Clinton, witch confirmed.
Whoa. Again, how did we get here? No, but, right, is that what's going on? I don't know. So, yes, words have power for sure. And, yeah, if you guys are up with this game and can enlighten us, I'm not a witch. Frank's not a witch as far as I'm aware. At least he hasn't admitted it. And so, yeah, we're kind of in the dark here. Kind of like the security force was in the dark. But, yeah, all right, let's read some comments. Tara says, I would have closed my eyes and floored it. Philip says, do you guys think you could keep up with a car floored in reverse down a gravel road? Probably not, especially dressed like that. Let's see. Joe wants to know, have you looked into the meme magic that they say helped get Trump elected via Pepe the Frog? Was that meme magic? Is that some kind of magical spell? Michael agrees. It's Clinton. What's up, Christopher? Thanks for showing up. No problem, man. You can be late all you want. Timothy says, perception deception. Yeah, maybe, and it's real. Yeah, it could be. It could be, right? Rajesh says, nope, they were superstitious, scared sexists. Oh, you mean the Inquisition, the witch hunts, the actual witch hunts? Burn them at the stake? That's what history says, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. What's up, Kimberly? Thanks for showing up. Says, they were jealous and called them witches because the witches or whatever could see the future. Okay, there's two totally different takes. There we are.
That's kind of the point I'm, sorry to interrupt, that's the point I'm getting at, is that history says a lot of things, and the mainstream says a lot of things, and we question them, we go back and forth on them. We go back and forth on UFOs and ghosts and aliens and ancient civilizations and, ancient aliens, all this kind of stuff we go back and forth on. I've never seen anyone go back and forth on these witch trials saying they were doing them for a very good reason, that they had to get rid of these witches that were a plague to society. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that, but I wonder if it could be true.
Many things could be true. What's up, Tragical Toast 77 on Mixer? We see you. We see you out there. Thanks for showing up. I don't know. Witchcraft. Witchcraft is one of those things, right? There are a lot of people that know a lot of things about witchcraft. I'm actually in some Facebook groups that talk about witchcraft, and it's Greek to me at this point. Not that I'm going to learn about it and become a witch, but you get the point, right? It's a morbid curiosity, let's say. It's probably a bad curiosity to have. Maybe I'm going to, trip on a couple spells and do some bad things to myself. I have no idea. But if you guys know, again, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. Timothy says, well, if they weigh the same as a duck, it means they will float. Wood floats, therefore they will burn. You are a sick man. You are a sick man. And Todd says, this is another... The two of you, we can't let the two of you hang out together. Todd says, I guarantee half the sheeple would be willing to burn witches today. There we go. You guys have laid the groundwork. You guys have laid the groundwork. I'm just being funny. Okay, probably not funny, but, funny to me. Okay, so, I don't know. I don't know, Frank. Have you ever...
I brought this up more as an introduction. This is an introduction to the topic to get you in this mindset that there's creepy, crawly people out there doing strange things in the darkness. Let's open up this Twitter thread here from Gregory88. And reading through this whole thing, we're not going to go through the whole thing. You can do it on your own time. It seems to be one of these Twitter story accounts. So I'll summarize the story up to this point. Basically, this guy inherits a cabin from his grandfather. It's out in the middle of the wilderness. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And he starts to see strange stuff happening. And it's kind of Blair Witch-esque, where strange effigies are around the house. Furniture is moved around. And this cabin, this guy's saying, is out in the middle of nowhere. So no one should be around. So I'll start reading, then we'll play the video. I decided to go get my car and drive into town to find a motel because there was creepy stuff going on. I locked up the house. And that's when I saw her, the figure from before, standing right in the middle of my front lawn, staring straight at my house. I froze in place. Then it hit me. She couldn't see me because she had no eyes. She had no eyes. Just shiny skin over where her eyes should be. As quietly as I could, I went for my phone, and he took this video. So play this video. Tell me what you think of it. 20 seconds. What the heck's going on here? Okay. Creepy cabin. Strange stuff moving around. He's getting creeped out, and he sees this figure in his front lawn in the middle of nowhere.
Where the hell's the video? I don't see a damn video. I see, what is this? No.
There were two Twitter links. Did you see those? Oh. Gregory88.
Yeah, I got the Gregory88. Oh, there's another one? Oh, there's two. All right. Why you add this stuff after we start the show, man? Come on.
I didn't. Maybe it's witchcraft, but this was here the entire time. So
Frank's time
if
traveling.
I were you, I'd leave those groups.
Time traveling. This is BS. Okay. All right. So we got this the video, the famous video. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play this sucker. Action. Appears to be. Okay, I'm going to play that again, just because that was mildly entertaining. 667,000 views. Looks like it just ticked over from 666, right? Maybe we were the one that ticked it over. All right, it appears to be okay, let's call this a humanoid entity with what would you call that? Like I don't know, like a bad makeup job, let's say. And standing there, out in the woods, or in the meadow, the pasture, whatever it is, in the dark, with is that purple, maybe? Dark blue? I don't know. Black? Some kind of long, flowy shirt. Somebody's filming it, and the thing is just standing there, staring out into the darkness, and then turns, snap, toward him. It looks like a Hollywood production to me, to be honest. If I'm being honest with myself. Okay. I'm going to link this if you guys want to check it out. But, yeah. What do you think, Frank?
I'm starting to think that you might be a witch. I'm not believing this is real.
No. That's not what I said. I said that this particular thing...
I'm starting to question your loyalties here. All to the show, to the truth.
To humanity. Okay, fine. I've linked it. If you guys want to take a look,
again,
have a look.
So this is like a Twitter thread that it's reminiscent of Dear David. We had covered that before. Guy sees a ghost, writes a whole thing about it. But anyway, creepy cabin. He inherits it. Crazy stuff starts happening. He's seen stuff move around. Then he takes this video. And again, good makeup, if that's what it is. No eyes. You can see that for sure. Standing in the darkness. And we got the second link here. Why don't you pull that up? It's a picture this time. This is a couple months later. Creepy stuff keeps happening. He hasn't seen this figure again. And he says, I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving tomorrow. First thing in the morning. I don't care about selling the house anymore. I just want to go home. And then he says, I just need to make it through the night. I'll be fine if I stay inside. The locks are new and nobody can get in. I'll be fine. And then he posts, an hour later, she's here. She was in the cellar. I practically ran into her. And you can see the picture here. So scroll down to that. This witch, that's what this guy's saying, was standing in the cellar of his house. What do you think? Look at that makeup job.
That's a pretty good makeup job. Okay, I especially appreciate the wine cellar there. What's going on with that? It's like a D&D setup and a crypt keeper. What's going on? What's with this? I don't know. Am I looking at the right picture?
Yeah, no, that's what you're seeing. The cellar in this house he inherited from his grandfather, out in the middle of nowhere. And this thing was in the cellar, staring at what looks to be some kind of religious icon on the wall.
And not drinking the wine bottles. I mean, that's your first clue that's not human. You're gonna break into the wine cellar. You're gonna get in the wine, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're all empty. You can see that if you look closely.
I'm not looking closely though. I'm just
train the eye for detail.
Nope, not doing it. I'm totally not doing it. You get old, you need glasses. That's the way it goes. Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys think? Is this? It seems to me at this point to be one of those Dear David types, where they want you to believe some things are real. They got a couple of nice photograph, a nice video, and they got a nice story. But I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think this show is making me more skeptical of BS, bullshit. I'll say it because it just seems like there's a lot of fakes out there. There's a lot of people trying to write stories, trying to gain attention at the expense of us, right? Trying to fool us. And one way or the other, if it's a good story, fine, it's a good story. But don't you think you should tell us it's a good story? I don't know. I mean, that's the virality of the object, right?
I'll offer you a counterpoint. Is we get these videos of UFOs that are 30 seconds long, and we say, "Hey, why didn't you film it for longer?" And then we get these shaky videos of UFOs, and we're like, "Hey, why didn't you stabilize it?" And then we get, UFO videos with no descriptions, no additional information. And then we complain and we whine and we complain and we say, hey, why not give us some detail here? Why not give us more information, more stuff to go on? There's a random video. Sure, it looks cool, but it doesn't really prove anything. Well, here you go. Here's the counterpoint. We've got this person who has done as much as he can. He's documented the entire thing. And now, he's given us everything we wanted, all the evidence we wanted, and we just say, oh, it's fake. So what's the point? What's the point of doing any of this? What would this person have to do to really prove it, to make you believe? Because it looks like he's doing everything he can.
I don't know about that. Like, wouldn't you walk up and poke that thing and maybe get additional photographs? That's only one photograph. I mean, come on. Like, it's one thing to have the witch at night and some other things and some video, but the things in your cellar. I mean, you wouldn't walk up and tap it on the shoulder and ask if, she'd like a glass of wine or he would like a glass of wine. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. It seems
you're serious? So you inherit a creepy house in the woods. Strange stuff happens. Stuff moving around, weird effigies. And then you're really going to go tap this thing on the shoulder and say, hey, what are you doing here? Are you okay? Do you need some help? You're really going to do that?
Yeah, hell, it's my house. Get the hell out of my house. Michael here says, great comment. What's up, Michael? Says, fake picture. How can they be so calm and take the picture with her dead center? Pretty good photography skills. And I'm adding for a scared person that should be frightened here. No, hell no. This is my house, and I'm taking this picture. First, I got my gun. and I'm going to tap on the shoulder and see if they'd like a glass of wine and see what happens. If they go spurging on me, there's going to be bullets flying. That's the way the world works sometimes. You come into my house and you don't introduce yourself first. You know what I mean? Like, you run the risk of bullets flying, right? I mean, this is America, for crying out loud. This isn't some, a second world country like Canada where they don't allow guns up there. I mean, come on now. Please. This is America. No, come on. No, I'm not scared of this. I'm not afraid of this. I don't think this is real at all. It seems to be Hollywood hype. They're trying to sell a story. Yeah, no. Great point, Michael.
Okay.
Fake picture. How can they be so calm? I'm not buying this one. And I'm not saying I don't buy everything. I'm saying this one in particular I'm not buying.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you. Again, I said it sounds like a lot like Dear David. It's written like Dear David. It has these trappings of Dear David with the mystery, the alternate reality, ARG kind of thing. And yeah, but at some point, there's going to be something like this. There's going to be someone like Gregory who is regularly seeing a UFO, takes these pictures, is pretty calm, can take them nice and clean and zoom in. And he's going to write descriptions. He's going to give us everything we ever wanted. And we're just going to say it's fake. Because
maybe
it's too good to be true.
That could be. Okay, now if this thing turned around and you had it on video and it attacked you and you had like these, nearly mortal wounds to prove it, okay, we got a different story, right? But we just got a still image. Somebody, some good comments here. Thanks for the comments, guys. Benjamin says, F that bullet to the head. There you go. He's speaking your language, Frank. Philip says, I'm claiming it's fake because how her head looks, like it's makeup. Yeah, the head looks like a skin cap, honestly. I mean, if it's real, then I was wrong, but just think it's fake. Okay. Rob, what's up? Thanks for showing up. We're talking about, is this a fake witch, a fake setup, a fake Twitter setup? Scroll up, find some links. We're going to move on from this in a sec, but so you're just in time for us to segue away from witchcraft, maybe, unless we have more witchcraft. Jennifer says, I agree. What's up, Jennifer? I would totally poke it. It's my house, right, Frank? This is my damn wine cellar. Get out of here. What if there's actual bottles of wine? Then we're scrapping. Then we have problems. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this isn't my view. In my view, I'm not going to poke the thing. I'm going to... Goodbye. I'll just put it that way. I don't want to get banned from YouTube, but goodbye. Out in the country, people are creeping in your house. No, that's the end of the story. There's plenty of land out there where people can go missing in Minecraft. Let's just put it that way. But you know what I mean? It's like this, again, it comes the question, what's the burden of proof here? And there's more pictures and more videos. I just posted a new link in the media folder if you want to open that up. But creepy eggs. Again, it could just be weird things that someone has made up as a prop. But there's a ton of stuff on this account. So you have to ask yourself, and again, this is a question we find ourselves facing over and over and over again, is what is the standard of proof? Do you have to be there to believe this? Could you trust your family if they told you the story? Could you trust your friend? Could you trust your neighbor? How far does it have to go? That's a real question we have to ask ourselves when we're looking at all this information. I'm not sure. I've said it many times. I would have to see it myself to believe it.
Okay, I agree with you 100%. And I'm posting the links out to the chats out there. And you're right, there's no restream. or no, I'm sorry, there's no stream.me. We're not streaming to that anymore. They took it down. Wow, what is going on with the world? Okay, let's see. Type a message. There we go. Gotta find the damn thing. Okay, so what do you guys think? Again, open lines. This is a open topic show. We're going to go through some of the things that we've picked out news-wise, but if this is kind of to start the conversation. We're here to have a conversation with you. If you're out there listening and you hear my voice right now, what the hell's the day? It's March 2019, Tuesday. That should narrow it down. Yeah, that'll narrow it down. So if you're listening tonight, this show's about you. We're talking about you. Not really about you. We're talking to you. And if you'd like to speak back, well, you're in luck. Give us a call. 702-957-1037. Open lines. Join the Discord. You can find both of those at troubleminds.org. Tell us what's on your mind. so far with the witchcraft business. What do you think about the two videos we've looked at so far and some of the evidence? Is this, again, viral hoaxing? Is this people trying to get a movie deal? What is this? What's going on right now? Is this like like they say the treasure ciphers of the late 1800s were? Like viral newspaper stuff? Or is this real? I don't know. What's actually happening here? What's actually going on? Give us a call. Troubleminds.org. Phone number, Discord. Get in here. Anybody in Discord, Frank? I'm not looking. I'm too scared to look.
Not yet, but the color queue is wide open. If you want to talk about witches or witchcraft or any other topics, please do join the Discord and call in.
There you go. All right, so read some more chat here, but what else are we looking at, Frank? How you feeling tonight? How you doing?
I don't know. I think you're in a mood, in an appropriate mood to pull open this link from the best website in the universe, express.co.uk. Time travel, shock claim, mysterious transmission from the future beams in on a local radio station. So let's pull open this. It's a mysterious transmission from the future. Let's pull it open. There's a video there. Let's play that and let's see what you think about this. So this weird broadcast came in and there was a static hum and some strange... Let's just listen to the clip and then we'll talk more about it. A time travel broadcast from the future.
Okay. Well, we have breaking news about this one as well. Just some Troubled Minds breaking news. All right, here we go. So this is up. This is from the express.co.uk, the best site in the world. Time travel shock claim. Mysterious transmission from the future beams in on local radio. Okay, let's play this. 1 minute video action.
Alpha 4 Paranormal 91555 72 degrees. Sustainable life. Landscape is desolate as far as a mile radius.
Hello? Who's there?
Predicted radio contact made. Hello? Report.
Who is this?
There's a human sub and superterranean identity agreement of 419. But no authorization to divulge my identity to anyone. Just hold on a second.
Hello? Is this some sort of prank?
Yes.
Requesting revision dimension radio frequency noise on the line.
I'll have you know I have a radio show to do.
Okay, as I was saying, landscape a bit desolate. Computer registers localized civilization 510 clicks east. When you sub-scan.
Okay. There we go. I'm an instant skeptic because I saw in the thing up here, it says Apex TV right in the link. Oh, and hold on. With that in mind, we do have breaking news. So I have invited Noah from Apex TV, the time traveler. I have invited him to be on the show. So let's see. Let's see what kind of a response we get. All right. Wow. I'm sorry to burst your bubbles. Yeah. How do you feel, Frank? I know. There we go. There's Noah. There's Noah right there. You scroll down a little bit. Time travel proof. Time traveler warns USA and Mexico merge borders. Uh-oh. That's controversial. Oh, jeez. Sorry, Frank. I had to save that for the end, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy. What do you think?
Again, what do you think? Is this all a hoax? Is just Apex TV trying to get clicks, trying to get views, or are they onto something? Are they getting the information? They've found a time traveler. They've tuned into certain events like this, and they're actually seeing these things. They're getting evidence. They're filming Men in Black. Or is it all fake? How do we know? Who are we to say, really? That's a good question. I would love the answer to that. Who are we to say this is all fake?
Well, I'm me, and you're you, so we can start there. Is that a good start? I'm me, you're you, and well, at least I say it's fake. I say it's fake because I don't trust Apex TV. That's why. Because, again, go look at They don't need the plug because they've got the millions of views, but go check out Apex TV and then compare. Come back and compare and contrast and see what kind of entertainment value goes on over there and how they actually want to find the truth. Yeah. It's painful. It hurts, Frank. It hurts. Oh, it hurts.
As far as I'm concerned, I believe it. They have a real time traveler. He's on the show. He's calling in. He's making these predictions. And until these, honestly, and I'm not even being facetious here, until these predictions are proved false, until we look at Noah's catalog of predictions and we compare them to events that have actually happened, we're no one to say it's not true. So he's predicted that we're going to see some major weather storms and the merging of the Mexico border and cities being destroyed due to climate change in the next year or two. So we'll keep an eye on it and we'll look for this stuff. But I'm actually being serious here. Until that point, we don't know. We can't know.
No, it's been a rough couple of days for me. So I'm in a what would you say? I'm in a celebratory mood. Matter of fact, I need a timeout for about 40 seconds, Frank, shortly. But right now, you get what I'm saying, though. So we don't, I'll speak for myself. Me personally, I don't discount this stuff. But when you get the same source over and over, kind of beating you over the head with crap that you don't believe, and you see 9 or 10 or 12 or 15 or 50 of these damn videos, well, I mean, the 51st, come on. That's who I am to say, Frank, based on doing the show and the past experience. But you're right. You're completely right. Okay. This is also Troubled Minds breaking news. Frank, you were completely right. And not that you're completely right, that I'm saying and I'm admitting you're completely right. But the point is that I'm trying to make is that, yes, Frank is correct that you have to take each item case by case in a vacuum, in and of itself, and parse the evidence. I saw Apex TV and I tuned out. So that's my fault. But right? Just because everything they've done is phony, and I say that as a critic, let's say, it doesn't mean they might come across some amazing actual real thing. So there's that.
And again, there's the story of the girl who cried wolf or the boy who cried wolf, whatever variation you want to talk about. And we all know this. The kid cries wolf, there's no wolf. Wolf again, there's no wolf. The kid cries wolf again, no one believes them. The kid cries wolf for the final time, no one believes them. And what happens to the kid? The kid gets eaten by the wolf, right? The kid actually got eaten by the wolf that was there. So, yeah, sure, they cried wolf so many times, but there was a wolf at the end of the day. So we have to look at the evidence piece by piece, go through it piece by piece, and see if it's real. If we just start discounting stuff instantly, well, kids start getting eaten by wolves, right?
Yeah.
And we're seeing this culture now. Yeah, we're seeing this culture nowadays where it's all fake. Everything's fake. Everything's Photoshop. Nothing's real. Who cares? The popular opinion is the right opinion nowadays. Consensus on an opinion is the right opinion. And that's so ass backwards, it's unbelievable. It's completely unbelievable. Is oftentimes the smaller opinion, the lesser known opinion tends to be the right opinion in reality. Talk about the Earth orbiting the sun or the sun orbiting the Earth. The historical examples of this go back in time forever. Is what people believe, the mass general consensus tends to be wrong most of the time. And who are we to say, really? Who are we to say?
Yeah, like I said, I'm me and you're you. I mean, this is the thing, right? We talk about Elon Musk, we talk about Bill Gates, we talk about all these people, right? Like these very rich, smart people, okay? But there's still one person, and I'm one person, and Frank's one person, so that's who we are to say, Frank. We're still one person, just like them. We may be, I'll speak for myself, I may be a lot more knuckleheaded than him, or you even, let's say, but still, we're still one person. We still have a say, right? We have the one person say of the how many billions here, so that's who we are. 40 seconds, Frank. This is a nice view of a Jupiter. So we are going to orbit Jupiter for just a moment while Mike gets a beer and Frank tells you a story. I'll be right back.
Yes, as we're orbiting Jupiter, do keep in mind that these people could be right. Apex TV could be contacting time travelers, and we just don't believe them. What would you do if you were in that situation? You had a time traveler, you met, you started giving information, you started making a bunch of YouTube videos, you're making money, you're sensationalizing things just a bit to get the word out. And then people come to you and say, oh, you're faking the whole thing. It's not real. But you know it is. You do know it is. What would you do? What criteria would you need to pull out of this time traveler to prove it? That's a question to think about. Or if you saw a UFO, or let's say you were abducted by aliens. You were abducted by aliens. What would you do to prove that to the world? Maybe you just keep your mouth shut. And we've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of people keeping their mouth shut because they know they're not going to be believed. So what do you do? I don't know. I'd love some comments.
You pop a beer.
That makes sense.
That's what you do. What's up, Fred? Thanks for showing up.
So what would you do if you were abducted by aliens, you told your story, and no one believed you? What would you do?
That's a hell of a question. I don't know. I this is one of those ones that we've kind of kicked around a little bit. Haven't gone too in depth. But where do you get help from? I mean, you could, some people have suggested previously in previous shows, maybe go get a what do you call that? A regression, like a hypnotic regression, and maybe try and put some pieces together, some things that maybe some lost time that you don't know what happened. But who can you actually go to for help? I mean, we kicked around MUFON, but I think we've come to the conclusion after time and again, some scandals with MUFON and some money grabs and maybe like a government participation. Maybe they're part of the government. Maybe it's a disinformation campaign. Who knows? Where do you go? Where do you go for help? I don't know. That's a great question, Frank. I'm not even sure what I would do. I'm fortunate I'm not in that circumstance because that's terrible, terrifying.
Well, I think we've seen that time and time again is the people don't believe anything anymore. They really don't. There's so many different narratives going around. Who knows what the truth is? So there's tons of people out there who have been abducted, who have shut up about it, who have said nothing, and had that information come out in a timely fashion. Maybe that would shape the public consensus of this conversation a bit better. Maybe we would believe these people and help them there, find more stuff out, do the research, put the facts together. But they keep their mouth shut because they don't want to be mocked. They don't want to be ridiculed. And now we're here and we don't know anything. So yeah, I don't know. It's something to think about.
I think that's the worst part is, given all the information, right? We talk about propaganda quite a bit. We talk about disinformation. We talk about governments. We talk about the technocracy. And of course, there's the spinsters, the people that would fool you for money. There's all this, right? There's all these things that you have to try and account for. But what is the truth? Like how on God's green earth can we even begin to know what truth means with all of these things just like bombarding us every single day? It's a terrifying thought here. Let's see. Kimberly says, I believe I've talked with people very advanced, only they never brag about it. Well, I try not to brag. Benjamin, good question, Mike. Todd says there is no help. And Keith says a coffee enema always helps me. Well, maybe you should package and sell that. You might, be the next Elon Musk. Who knows? What's up, Jim? Thanks for showing up. Christopher, I would spend the rest of my life trying to prove it. There we go. There's dedication. And I think that's actually, like when something happens to you like that changes your life, I think that right there, that comment probably points to it, right? I mean, it would be a quest for your entire life, like every single breath you take until there are no more breaths to take, trying to prove that you saw what you saw. I get that. I would totally, again, so Frank and I, we've seen some things, okay, no abductions here, again, fortunately for us, but we've seen some things, which is why we're doing this show, right? We've had experiences with some interesting, anomalous things, okay? Because we believe there are things you cannot explain, that science cannot explain, that the media cannot and will not explain, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. And so that's the reason for that. That's the reason for the conversation. When did this conversation start, Frank?
I'm not sure. He'll have to remind me.
Beginning of time. The beginning, it's on. But this conversation, the Troubled Minds conversation, started almost a year ago. So we're coming up on that. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Let's see. Thomas says, do you think the singularity can time travel? The singularity. You know what? I think that's as plausible as anybody time traveling. Right? Because eventually, somewhere down the line, the singularity will be a thing. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a hell of a question. Can you send code to the past? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. What do you think, Frank?
You can definitely send big buff Austrian men to the past.
Yes, apparently. As long as they have no clothes. They have to be able to show off the pecs. Let's see. Kelly says time travel and jump gate, aka wormhole. Yeah, wormholes, of course. There's got to be some sort of again, the speed of light is just too slow. There's got to be some sort of something going on here. Philip says no abductions that you remember and know of. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Exactly. I've never actually been through a hypnotic regression. How about you, Frank? Frank?
you cut out there. Did you say something? Refresh my memory.
Okay, I'll refresh you. I said I've never. Okay, so the comment was from, what did I say? Short-term memory here. Somebody said, Philip said, no abductions that you remember or know of. And I said, that's true. I've never been through a hypnotic regression. Have you, Frank? So maybe we actually have been abducted and just don't know it, don't remember it.
Yeah, no, I doubt it. I very much doubt it because, well, I think the aliens would put me down. If they took me on their ship and they started, and we're coming up on Sunday with the typical alien abduction cases, a bunch of facts that they deal with, all this kind of stuff. Often it involves an interview with these aliens. They try to teach you something. They try to interview you and get you to interface with the technology. We'll cover that on Sunday, so tune in if you're interested. These common kind of occurrences during an abduction. And let me just say that alien's not going to teach me anything. We're going to get in a fist fight real quick. So if I had been abducted, I wouldn't be here today. Let me just put it that way.
Frank would be turning over tables and throwing punches somewhere in some galaxy near you. Okay, Benjamin says, even with having proof and telling your story, no one still believes. And as an abductee, you're ridiculed constantly, trash talked, called crazy, etc. Yeah, well, I think that's part of the problem, right? If this is a real phenomenon, which we've talked about quite a bit, then you end up in a kind of in no man's land. There's nowhere for you to go. And, most people don't take it seriously. We laugh a lot here, but without me, I'm just a humorous guy. That's my excuse. I don't think this stuff is funny. Like when it's serious and people have actually been abducted and had visitations and these are some serious topics, right? You can't really, boil it down to just media smear, right? Like when you have somebody say, this happened to me. I think again, back to that original point, or, let's say 2 points ago, you have to take it case by case. You have to look at the evidence. And, I think when you're dealing with people specifically, I think you have to believe them. I think you have to believe them. When people say it happened to them, you have to believe them. So, there's that, right? Again, why we're doing this and et cetera, et cetera. Chris, what's up? Hey, from P-Town, what's up? I don't know where that's at. John wants to get strange. Let's get strange, buddy. Keith says Frank has regressed. Whoa. Is that deep?
To a mongoloid. Anyway, whoa. I want to elaborate on that point a little bit. Is we see this, most people out there see this abduction phenomena as so strange, so bizarre that it can't be believed. And even the two of us right here, we think that Twitter threads on witches and Apex TV is so strange, so bizarre, so crazy that it just can't be believed. And isn't that interesting that our perspective, well, we might humor the alien abductions, but this Apex TV, that's too far. Well, one day, maybe even right now, there's going to be something, and maybe we haven't described it already. It's not doesn't fit in with abductions or aliens or ghosts or demons or anything. Something bizarre is going to happen, or maybe something bizarre is already happening. And it's just going to be so strange, so crazy that we can't believe it. We can't even think about it. We're going to tune it out. We're going to think about something else. We're going to attribute it to a ghost. We're going to make fun of it. Am I making sense here? There's strange stuff is happening. And because we're so close-minded, even here on Troubled Minds Radio, we're so close-minded that these things are going to get away from us. It's kind of a fear I have. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. Again, I have to say it twice in one show, Frank. You're right. Me, like I said, I'm in a festive mood, rough couple days, etc., whatever. So, you can write me off tonight. My mind is checked out. My troubled mind is no longer troubled for tonight. But tomorrow is a different story. And I think that's the thing, right? Like, you can't always be on your A game, one. That's just being human. But two, you have to literally take all these things seriously at first, right? Until, again, you make up your own mind. Part of the show, again, another part of being human. Because, fool me once, shame on you, right? What do they say? Fool me twice, never fool me again. If anybody got that joke, I'm sorry. Fool me twice, shame on me. But, I don't know. Again, discount me tonight. I'm a little bit silly. But there are things you have to look at critically, cautiously, and look at the evidence yourself. Because it could be real. Like Frank said, alien lands, walks right by my house. I go out to work in the morning, and I see it and go, ha ha ha, what a stupid Halloween costume, right? Because I'm in such a skeptical mood. It's I mean, you gotta keep that open. Keep your vibes open, because the vibes might find you at a wrong time. You know what I mean? I think that's what Frank's trying to say.
Yeah, let's talk about skepticism here. Let's open the next news story. Let's move on from this. Oh, we have someone in the caller queue, a mysterious caller in the caller queue. You want me to bring him in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Mysterious caller, you're on the air with Troubled Minds Radio. You'll have to unmute yourself, but whenever you're ready. Okay, maybe he wasn't ready, so I'll put him back in the, oh, no, and now he is ready. Live show. Hello, you're on the air. Mysterious caller.
With Frank and Mike, and we're going to call you Mysterio, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine, guys. Hey, I want to say something about that one video about the witches or whatnot. I don't know, man. I mean, you brought up a good point, Frank. Everybody keeps complaining about proof this and proof that. Well, maybe that actually the guy is actually having an encounter, and maybe that the witch with no eyes, maybe she wants to be seen. Maybe she wants the guy to see her and to document her and that she's real. Nobody knows. The one with Apex, the one with Apex TV, I would have to say, even though I'm kind of iffy on it, that seems to be where, I don't know, I guess the futuristic transmission or whatnot, that kind of seems to be more of a realistic one, but who's to say?
Yeah, definitely. The way I think about it is probably probabilities, right? 50-50 chance it's real. Maybe there's a 1% chance it's real. I'm going to try my hardest never to go below 1% chance. I'm always going to give it a little bit of critical thought, a little bit of belief that it's real, because eventually, one day, I'm going to go below that 1% chance that something real is going to happen. I'm just not going to pay attention to it. That's kind of a fear I have.
Well, I wanted to mention something about when you started talking about abductions, and that's the main reason why I called in. Abductees such as myself, we could give all the proof in the world, okay? But people are still going to ridicule us. People are still going to trash talk us. They're going to, you're crazy this, you're crazy that, no matter how much proof that we have, we're still going to be ridiculed by it. And I think that has a lot to do with what you were saying. So many people want to be quiet about it. So many people don't want to talk about it because when they do share it and they do provide proof, they're still ridiculed by it. And that's where the closed minds come into play. I also wanted to tell you, I had a wonderful experience the other week too. I don't know if you guys read what I posted on Discord about it.
I did, yes. Affirmative.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's it was a loss for words, man. I woke up about 3:15, 3:30 in the morning, and I heard what sounded like the most beautiful music I've ever heard in my life, Mike. I mean, this was just the most amazing, the most beautiful, the most quietest, calmest sound I had ever heard. Okay. Never in my life have I heard anything like it, and never experienced anything like it. I'm still kind of lost for words, so just bear with me. But I woke up about 3:15, 3:30, and I heard this beautiful sound, man. I mean, it was just the most beautiful thing I can imagine. Well, it actually kind of drew me outside. Well, when I went outside, it was like I could hear the sound, but it was more like, I don't know how to explain it. It was more like it was in my head than it was actually me actually hearing it. And I closed my eyes, and then I happened to open my eyes, and then I looked up, and me and Paul and Imam and a bunch of us has talked about the Summer Triangle before on Discord. And I happened to close my eyes, and I looked up, and while I was listening to this beautiful sound, out of nowhere, I saw these beautiful flashing lights. I mean, it was like they just came out of nowhere. I mean, they just came out of nowhere. And I had the sense of love. I had the sense of passion. I felt calm. I didn't feel threatened. But, at the same time, I had the sense of concern. But, I mean, I was so in shock. I was so amazed by the shock of it. I mean, I couldn't move. I was just standing there, and I was actually looking at it. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, it had to have been, the lights had to have been about maybe not even 7 feet from the roof of the house. And that's pretty close, because if I'm standing out on my front porch, the roof is about maybe 3.5 feet higher than me. And the whole time I'm looking at these lights, and I'm listening to this most ecstatic sound. I had a feeling that it was my contactee, and call it a gut feeling, because like I said, I had the feeling of passion. I had the feeling of love. I had the feeling of concern, and it just all hit me. And I knew, that, because right before that happened, I just kind of felt like I was alone. Because when a lot of people don't realize, when you have visitations and abductions, you have the sense of being alone. You have the sense of feeling alone. And see, those that don't have these experiences, like me and other people do, they can't relate where we're coming from. But anyway, before that happened, I had the sense of, a loneliness. I had the sense of me being alone, not knowing what was going to happen next, if it was going to be a bad one the next time around, or if it was going to be a good one. But I don't know, man. I just can't explain it. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Well,
okay, I got a question for you, if I can interrupt.
Yes.
And this is a different perspective, so don't take offense. I'm curious on your opinion to this. When Britain wanted control of China, they didn't do it with guns and swords and arrows. They did it with opium. And all these Chinese people, they love the opium. It felt so good. They mixed it with their tobacco. They were feeling really good all the time because of all this opium. How do you know that's not a very similar thing to what these aliens are doing to you?
That's a good point, Frank. The reason I don't think that that's the case is because what I go through, most people that have visitations and abductions don't go through what I go through. What I go through is when I have the abductions. People can call me crazy all they want to. Mine abductions are terrifying, very terrifying. When I have visitations, my visitations are more of a loving sense, a caring sense, the feeling of, how can I put it? knowing I'm not alone in the universe, knowing that there is something more out there that's trying to reach out, that has reached out. I don't think that it's a mind game. I don't think that it's a psyop. I honestly don't think that. I honestly do think it was my contactee. Like I said, I mean, it's hard to explain, because if you've never really been through it, you really can't understand it. You know, most of the people that I talk to that have visitation similar to mine, that have abductions similar to mine, we can relate. And this is what I was telling people in Discord last week, because I was actually going to wait to to call into the show to let you guys know what happened, but it was so amazing. I had to say it on Discord. I didn't have a choice. It was just something that's telling me. But most of the people that I talk to, do have similar visitations where they hear the sound of like beautiful music, the flashing lights, and what trips me out about the whole situation, Frank, is I did black out, and I did have and did experience 3 hours of lost time. But the thing about that one is I remember everything. I mean, I remember it from the time I woke up about 3:30 in the morning till the time I passed out to the time I came to. So I don't think it's a psyop. I don't think it's like an agenda to, I don't know. I just can't explain it. I just don't think that they have like some nefarious agenda. Now, could there be other alien races that have a nefarious agenda? Yes, I believe so. But with what I experience, I don't think that's the case at all. I think with my case is more of I want to say spiritual, but it's not religious. It's almost like like if you're in love with somebody and you haven't seen this person for a long time, and then all of a sudden this person comes back in your life, that type of experience. You understand where I'm coming from?
I kind of get that. Yeah. Now, again, to me, I haven't been there. I haven't experienced it. I haven't felt these things. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. But, if I showed up to your house and I drugged you and then I knocked you out and I took you away in my van somewhere, that wouldn't be a good thing. That would be objectively a bad thing. So again, I don't have this experience, but I'm put it in perspective and think about that aspect of it a bit. If they can control our minds, if they can cause us to lose time and blank us out, that's objectively not a good thing.
Well, that's true. And I do agree with you to a point. But like I said, I've had many visitations from my contactee, whether it's, we've only had like 2 face-to-face, visitations. I've only had 2 face-to-face visitations, but I know when it's her. I know it's this gut feeling. And, I'm a firm believer in going by your gut feeling. If it was nefarious, I would know. I just have this strange feeling that it's not an agenda as far as like, trying to get the human race to bow down to them by them acting nice and polite and acting like, they're the savior or whatever, whatnot. Now, are there like I said, are there nefarious races of ETs out there? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But mine is more of like a learning aspect and more of a bond aspect. That's about the easiest way I can explain it to you. I mean, it was the most beautiful thing I have ever heard and the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life. I don't do drugs. For anybody out there, no, I wasn't tripping on acid. No, I wasn't drinking, wasn't drunk. I'm not on any ecstasy. I'm not crazy. I know what happened to me, whether they believe me or they don't. But it was the most beautiful experience I've ever had in my life. And I cherish those types of experiences. You know, now the bad ones, on the other hand, you know, like with my last abduction, I stayed sick for over a week and a half. For over a week and a half, I was ill. Those are the type of nefarious experiences people want to talk about, but then when they do talk about them, they're more ridiculed by the bad experiences than they are about the good experience. See, people love hearing from me doing research on it myself, because like I said, I want to know why I was chosen. I want to know why they're doing these tests on me. I want to know why I'm being visited. I want to know why I'm being abducted. I want to know why, for what reason do they have to do it? I want to know. So I do my own research. And 99% of all abductees and everybody who has visitation, they do research this stuff. And, you know, with me, that's why I research, because I want to know why. I want to know who's doing it, why they're doing it, for what reason, why they're doing it, and why they chose me. But like I said, you know, most people, when they hear of experiences involving those types of visitations, whether they feel that it's spiritual, or whether they feel that it's connected somehow in a spiritual way, not religious, but an awakening type way, or a learning type aspect of it, people are all open-minded for that. Where people where people are not open-minded is when it comes to the bad experiences. You know, when people such as myself, you know, say that we've been abducted, you know, we show the proof, we have the proof, you know, you could show them as much proof as you want to. You even stated it yourself. How much proof will it take for people to actually believe? Who's to say this guy from Apex, like I said, give him a good example. I hate to say this, you know, I find his channel iffy too, but listening to that signal that you guys play, you know, I have to admit, man, that sounds pretty legit. You know, I mean, I've saw some of his shady stuff, but you know, who's to say that this guy, you know, I mean, by listening to that gets me thinking, well, wow, wait a minute. This could be the real deal, because the way that they were talking in military terms. Okay. This wasn't just some random, you know, unless he's claiming it's a time traveler from the future or whatnot. He just came across what's known as the number station, and he just ended up getting into some, like, I don't know, communication thing, to where some military were doing some communication, and it ended up getting involved in some radio station, and the radio station ended up picking up on the signal or something. Who's to say? But to me, that seemed legit as far as the trends.
Yeah, totally. Okay. To wrap this up, Mysterio, I'm going to address the Apex TV after we get you off air. So you had the experience, love, beautiful sounds. Was there any message associated with this to kind of wrap this up, so we're going to move on with the show?
I think that was the message. I think the message was that I'm not alone, and that the general message I got was that the message, which I'm going to feel in my heart, and I strongly feel that in my heart it was my contactee. I feel that the message that she gave was that she's still there. She's concerned about me. She's concerned about my well-being because of the bad experiences that I'm having. And I feel that it's a learning process. I felt that was just a learning process.
Okay,
that's
enough.
The message that I took from.
Okay, fair enough. We're gonna move you out now, man. Thank you,
right.
Thank you for hopping in here, Mysterio, unnamed person. We appreciate all the information. So regarding the Apex TV thing. Okay, so I know a thing or two about audio, and I think maybe this will be a fun project. What do you think, Frank? You want to maybe make something that's similar? Maybe have like a time travel bust in.
I don't like contributing to the disinformation. I think that's a bad idea. Like, well, I know we've talked about it. I know we've waded back and forth. Maybe as a case study to prove that it can be done, if that's the route you're going. But I think I've thought about. I felt guilty about soliciting one of our wizards in the Discord there to make that fake alien video. I really did feel guilty about doing that after the fact.
No, but that's the thing though. So it's not only about saying this is a thing, right? It's saying, okay, now this is a thing. Now how easy is it to make this thing? I'm saying I know quite a bit about audio. I can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, and I'm saying to make that Apex TV recording we heard on the radio is easy. Easy peasy. Frank and I could do it. We could literally just be doing a show. We could interrupt our own show with audio we've done before and make it sound like something like that is happening in real time. And that's my point. It would be easy to do. So I'm less impressed by that. I need a little more information. That's all. Okay, we got another caller here in the Discord queue. I want to address a point real quick here, if I may. And that's that there is science out there. Okay, this is real science out there that humanely raised meat tastes better, right? So if animals are killed and they're kept happy, they taste better. And there's real science out there to prove that. So happy animals taste better. Now take that as you will, but just keep that in mind. Happy animals taste better. Yeah, well, I think that's part of the kosher food, right? It's like it's an ancient thing. And how they butcher animals and these types of things. So I'm not so, like, I can't really quantify happy animals, but okay, I'm with you. I definitely know where to go to eat a happy animal hamburger then, because some are just better than others. I'll tell you that. So we do have a caller in the queue. Send me a message. Let's see if they're ready to go. Caller in the queue on Discord. You ready to go? If you're ready to go, we'll pull you in. And tell us what's on your mind. Let's do it. Let's do it, Frank.
Hello, you're on the air with Troubled Minds Radio.
Testing 1 2. Can you hear us? Hello? Can you hear us? We hear you. We hear microphone sounds. Testing 1 2. We're gonna move you out if we don't hear from you in a couple seconds here. Can you hear us?
Okay, I moved him out. Some technical difficulties there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think about a lot of this stuff. I think the lesson at the end of the day is keep your mind open. And I think you're right. It is good to maybe do a case study, try to replicate that audio, make it sound even better, and demonstrate that it's false. Demonstrate that that isn't the standard of proof, just some audio clip that's edited in a very strange way. I think you need more.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the story we just heard, and it's blowing my mind.
I'm just saying it. Like, I think that was sloppy. I think we could do better than that. I think we could actually have something that's a lot more, let's say, well thought out and well produced. I think we can definitely do something. And that's the thing, right? Again, but what happens is, in trying to prove that, look how easy this is to do, guys. Watch. We'll do one that's legit. We'll even do it live on air, and you'll never even know. You'll never even know that we didn't go live, right? We'll hit the clip. Frank and I will go silent for like 3 minutes, and we'll have pre-recorded something where it appears that some transmission is coming through in some sort of time travel thing, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, we could fake it on a live stream, is what I'm saying. And again, adding to that disinformation is bad, but exposing people who are trying to take advantage of people to believe, well, that's another thing entirely. Okay, so some comments here. Philip says, "Do it, guys. It's not disinformation. It's busting this shit open." And that's exactly what I just said. It's exposing how easy this is to fool people that want to believe. That's all. So okay, and yeah, that's what we're talking about. We've been on this a little too long, Frank. Any good articles we can move on to? So hey, this is before we do that, Frank, real quick. This is a live show, guys. It's Tuesday night in March. That should narrow it down for you. 2019. If you want to be part of the show, you're welcome. Anybody, give us a call. 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org. It's the official website. You can find the Discord link there. Join the Discord. If you don't want to be on the show right now, join the Discord anyway. The conversation continues after the show, and tomorrow, and the next day, and 24 hours a day. There's people talking over there, sharing links, sharing information, sharing abduction experiences, all kinds of stuff. So do go to troubleminds.org, join the Discord, or give us a call. We're watching both right now, so yeah. How are we feeling, Frank?
Pretty good. Let's clear our palate. That was a rough story we heard, and we won't go on too much more about it, but let's open this one up here from Unexplained Mysteries. This is a palate cleanser, so don't take too much away from it. South African resurrection hoax. Is it a hoax? Goes viral. So a pastor resurrected a man at a funeral in front of a live audience. He essentially prayed over top of him. He was in his coffin, and this guy came back alive. Let's play the video. And people think it's a hoax. I don't think the pastor has come out and said it's a hoax. No one's confirmed it's a hoax. Pretty sure it is, though. This guy was resurrected. But let's play this video. It's a minute long, and there's a bunch of funny stuff in here. This has gone viral, so people are now mimicking this resurrection. The initial clip, you'll see it at the start, and then you'll see a bunch of people making fun of it after.
Okay, I've linked this in the chat if you guys want to follow up on us and make sure that we're not full of crap and didn't make this up ourselves. Here we go. Action. This video of a pastor supposedly resurrecting a dead man has gone viral in South Africa. It led to the hashtag resurrection challenge on social media. See, again, there you go. There's Frank being a perfect, spot on per usual. This stuff is easy to fake, right? This stuff is easy to fake, and that was my point for the previous one. Damn, Frank, you read my mind sometimes. It's amazing. All right, action. Within hours, Twitter users were posting their own dramatic versions of the resurrections. The school teacher posted a video of his entire classroom being magically resurrected. While some were seen brining a mannequin in a shop back to life. I think it's that brining that was bringing. This man chose to exercise after rising from the dead. And this guy guzzled a pint of beer. Okay, we're ending it right there. That guy's a man after my own heart. He's guzzled a pint of beer after he was brought back from the dead. Okay. GG, it's a wrap. GG, it's a wrap.
So anyway, I thought that was a pretty funny video. You know, this preacher, and preachers are often notorious for raising money and pulling these stunts and fake faith healing people, all this kind of stuff. It's kind of gone around we all know about it. You have to wonder, though, this is our attitude towards this. This is what we think of this. It's all fake. It's all a hoax. It's nonsense. What happens one day when a preacher does resurrect someone? They pray, and it's an alien entity. It's the Anunnaki. It's a god. It's whatever you believe. It's witchcraft. They pray over a body in front of a crowd, and it comes back to life. And people say it's a hoax. It's kind of the theme of the show. This is our attitude right here. This summarizes our attitude. It's all a hoax. It's all fake. Well, what if it's real one day? What are we going to do? What are we going to think of it? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, one more time, you have to take it case by case. I've said that a dozen times. I'll probably say it 100 more. It's not as easy as that. Okay, some are obviously tongue in cheek. Yeah, and this is the world we live in, right? People trying to fake each other out, people trying to fool you, people trying to get clicks, people trying to gain attention. So imagine if this was like just a recruiting effort for this guy's church, okay? And he just didn't say that at first, but that's what it ended up being, right? I'm not saying that's the case, but you see, right? This is like commercial style. They do it in the Super Bowl, and they're legit, right? They're like, oh, hey, these guys, spent a bunch of money to put a Super Bowl commercial out. But in this case, let's say it's the same sort of thing. They just do it on a lower budget, and, maybe they get a bunch of people join their church. So it was effective, right? It's advertising. And I'm saying this, I don't know. Maybe they really resurrected the guy. I wasn't there. The point is that you just don't know. But there are a ton of people trying to do these things. You want to do a resurrection video, Frank? Should we do that? Should we do the fake, the fake time travel radio broadcast and then do a resurrection as well? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, these things are so easy these days. Like, everybody has the technology to fake these things. Almost everybody. It happens almost too often. Almost too often. A lot of fakes. Again, like, you know, do you really believe the guy was resurrected, Frank? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, but let's put it this way. What if there is a God floating above us in the heavens, looking down on us? And what if one day Jesus does return? He really does. It really happened. And this is our attitude towards it. And so, again, plenty of people believe this. Plenty of people think it's fake. I'm not advocating one side or the other. Let's say this really does happen one day and someone is resurrected, and it's proof, right? It's proof of God. And that's something we're all looking for. And then a bunch of people make fun of it on Twitter. Isn't that a sorry state of the world?
That's a fantastic point. And you know what? The funny part is that's what would probably happen, right? And it would be, I don't know. So what about the second coming, right? So exactly. What if Jesus comes back, raises somebody from the dead, and it becomes a bad Twitter meme instead? That's a good point, Frank. I don't know. Like we find, again, troubled minds, right? We find ourselves in like this form of unease where we know everybody's trying to fool us. Okay, or let's say a lot of people, not everybody. Let's say a lot of people are trying to fool us collectively. And whether it's the state, you know, disinformation campaigns, data dumping, we've talked about this, propaganda, or just people, you know, trying to get clicks and get ad clicks. We are in a collective form of unease with this type of thing because they're trying to fool us. There are a lot of people trying to fool us. And so, you know, when people are paranoid, when people are skeptical, overly skeptical, or when people are overly believing, it's hard to blame them for any of these things because of it's where we're at. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. And yeah.
Think about that though. That Jesus came back. He appeared in New York City, and then he was immediately mugged and murdered and dumped in the river. And now we're all damned to hell because of it. Or something else. Maybe an alien shows up with a diplomatic message, and a hick like me shoots the damn thing in the head. Now we're, or with aliens, you know, we got to think about this kind of stuff. This mass disbelief. It could be a problem one day. That's kind of the point I'm getting at.
Yeah, it definitely could. And but again, so overly skeptical could be, or overly believing could be the same problem. You know, you get spooked by your kids, you know, pulling, or neighbor kids pulling a prank on you. You know, it's I don't know. It's crazy times we live in, right? Like so you rewind. Let's go back 500 years. Okay, could your neighbor kids easily find some costumes and pull pranks on you? Yeah, probably, but you know, it would be unearthed and exposed for what it is almost instantly, right? Like you might jump and for 1 second or 5 seconds or 10 seconds be actually like alarmed, but you know what I mean? You would know. But now I don't know. Like we have all these phony videos. We have all the phony audio. We have all of these phony things. And so they're mixed in with things that might be real. That's again, I think that's more of an apt definition of what a troubled mind actually is, and why we do this damn show, right? We don't believe everything, we don't disbelieve everything, but holy crap, like what difference between 0 and 100 do you find yourself at? Skeptic and believer. Where do you sit, Frank? What do you think? If you have to label yourself 0 to 100, let's say 0 being full-on skeptic and 100 being full-on believer, where do you find yourself?
I don't know. I really don't know, and that's the issue. Is I don't think we can know. I think we have to take it case by case, as we've said many times now. I think if it's a financial thing, if it's my livelihood, I'm not betting on this. I'm not betting on the witch in the woods haunting a guy's cabin. But if I'm thinking about it, if I'm keeping an open mind, I'm potentially keeping a little bit of that openness in there. I do want to believe. I really do.
Yeah, well, again, I think you're fooling yourself if you shut that part out. You know, it may be few and far between that you see something that's believable, right? with all the hoaxes and all the BS and all the Apex TV, Noah the time traveler crap out there. Noah, if you're listening, we're still inviting you to the show. So if you're out there listening, vetting us, I don't know that you are. I'm just saying, we still want you on, but I think you're full of shit. So come prove us wrong, right? Like we reserve the right to be wrong, and we're wrong. We were wrong tonight about many things, and the next time we do the show, we'll be wrong again. Okay. But it's part of being human. It's part of parsing the data and the information and discussing whether this could be real or whether it could be not real. There's no way we could possibly know, or there wouldn't be a show. We'd just be like, hey, this is going to be 45 seconds. Frank and I are going to tell you exactly what's up. Blam, 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 blam. Real, not, real, not, real, not. Have a good night, guys. No, it's not as easy as that. It's a lot more complicated than that. So anyway, so we are live. If you guys want to be part of the show tonight, we're all over the place. We're talking about all kinds of wacky stuff. Are you a believer? Actually, I'm going to put up a poll. Where would you find yourself, Frank? I mean, obviously, ideally, all of us would want to find ourselves at the 50th percentile, right? At a 50th percentile where we take the data as it comes and we decide for ourselves. Okay, but where do you think you stand on a 0 to 100? 0 being full-on skeptic. You don't believe any of this crap. You don't believe in ghosts. You don't believe in aliens. You don't believe in the paranormal. You don't believe in the 4th or the 5th or the 8th dimension. You don't believe in spiritual healing or anything. That would be a 0, right? If Fox News and CNN doesn't tell you, you don't believe it. 0. But 100 is the complete opposite, and you believe all of it. The Apex TV bit, everything. Where do you guys stand? I'm going to put up a poll. What do you think, Frank? Talk about that for just a sec, please. I'm going to put up a poll and see where you guys stand.
Yeah, it depends, and I think that's an issue because for some things like the aliens and the UFOs, I'm probably 40% positive, 60% negative. For other things like witches and witchcraft and occultism, I'm more 5%. For religion, 5%. For interdimensions and strange entities and Bigfoot and all this kind of stuff, even higher, 50-50. So it depends on the issue you're looking at. And that in itself, I think, is a problem, that's our own biases. Certain people out there in the audience, you know who I'm talking about. If we're talking about Anunnaki, well, maybe they're at a 60-40 ratio, whereas witches, no, that's 1% for them. So that's a bias. And I think that's a bias we have to approach, and we have to recognize that some things we'll believe more than others for whatever reason. And that's a problem.
I think so. Still cranking this out. 0 to 20. Say 21 to say, I don't know, 50? 51 to, I don't know, say 70? It'll work. And then 71 to 100. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. Poll is up. Think about it. Think about it. How much stuff do you guys actually fall for? And I don't mean fall for in a bad way. I mean, do you believe this stuff? There's a lot of these things happening, right? And especially in this day and age, like I said, audio is easy to fake, video is easy to fake. Just go watch a Hollywood movie, right? They can show you aliens on the screen. So if they can fake it, it can be faked. So that means there's people trying to fool you. Trying to fool me, trying to fool Frank, trying to fool all of us. So here we go. Poll's going up. Where do you find yourself in this scale? 0 is a total skeptic. 100 is a total believer. Poll is up. If you want to take the poll and you're on any of the other Twitches or Mixers or wherever else we're streaming, Periscope, go to troubledminds.org. You can find the Facebook. Get on there. The live stream, take the poll. Take the poll. The poll is up. The poll is up. Where do you find yourself? Skeptic or believer? Which end of the spectrum do you find yourself on, and why? And more importantly, why? You got to think about that yourself, right? It's introspective. You put yourself in the position of, well, why am I this way? Why do I think I'm this way? Yeah. So if you want to tell us about it, we're taking calls. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org. Get on the Discord. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you think. Now, check it out, right? So we are a show that believes. We obviously believe in these things, or we wouldn't be talking about them. Obviously. But the problem is, how often do you think we're being fooled? And I think that's where the troubled minds part comes in. Because you don't know. You don't even know anymore. We end up in this blender of bullshit, of data, of propaganda, of misinformation, of clickbait, over and over and over. And here we are, trying to parse it all out, trying to talk our way through it, trying to get a phone call. Please call us. Somebody give us a pity call. 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org, the official website. You can find the Discord link. Join the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. Take the poll if you haven't taken the poll. Where do you stand? Are you 0, a total skeptic, 100, a total believer, or where do you fall on the spectrum? Come take the poll. All right. As we're taking the poll, oh boy, a lot tonight, Frank. I'm nervous. I'm scared. No, I'm not. Have another beer, Mike. Okay. But yeah. What are we looking at, Frank? Want to keep talking about this, or you got something else?
Let's move on. Let's talk about something more believable, less believable. Who knows? Let's open up UFOsightingsdaily.com. UFOs sighted over Lima International Airport in Peru, February 27th. So UFOs sighted over an airport on February 27th in Peru. This is kind of reminiscent of a story that happened not too long ago where I believe it was the Gatwick Airport. They saw some strange things hovering over top. They arrested a bunch of kids who were apparently flying drones, although that story was kind of fishy in my mind. But basically, strange things hovering over this airport. They shut down the airport, and then they arrested these kids who they said were flying drones. Well, here we go. Same thing in Peru. We'll talk about it a bit more, but scroll to the bottom of this article, play that video, and just really quick, and then we'll keep talking about it.
Okay, let's scroll down. We're going to play this video. All right, so we got a UFO sighted over Lima, Peru. Looking for the video. Here we go. All right. It's a quick 9-second video. We're going to play this sucker. All right. And we full screen? I think we full screen. Let's see. Yep. Okay. And action. I'll play it a couple more times muted, but first time through 9 seconds with sound. Mira. That means look in Spanish. If anybody's out there wondering. So there's what appears to be like a very quick, on the left side, kind of a light. Maybe it looks like on the right side. I don't know if those are actual lights or what's going on. All right, let's finish this up.
Están las dos cosas. Mira, ven. Tiene varias luces.
Whoa, ho, ho. All right, there you go. We're going to play this a few more times. Got the video. Going to link it if you guys want to see it full screen for yourself. And what do you think? It definitely looks like an anomalous light. What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, you can scroll back up to the top of the article there, and you'll see a better image of it. You'll see a closer image from a different perspective. But again, this is very reminiscent of what happened in the Gatwick Airport, I believe, England, where strange things appeared over the airport. A ton of people saw them. A ton of people, not just one or two, not a guy in the woods in his cabin seeing a witch. A ton of people, all the employees, the people loading on planes, everyone. And at the top of the article, this image, it's kind of compelling. There's this thing floating there. There were two of them, as you saw in the video. And they floated there, I believe it was for half an hour. They shut the airport down. A lot of sighting reports, official reports from the airport itself. The events occurred at dawn on Wednesday, February 27th. The control tower workers said the UFOs were positioned on runway 33, and they were seen by the ground crew, passengers, everyone. One of the unidentified objects appeared on the radar for a few moments and then disappeared off the radar afterwards. So we got some radar images. We got a whole airport seeing them, got the airport shut down. What do you think of this? Especially that image. That's pretty weird.
That's a pretty good image. And the video's not bad, right? Mira. Yeah, right? Somebody help me with the Spanish. But it definitely is something in the sky, right? So in this still video, or the still photograph here, we see something on the left side. It appears to be whatever's in the sky. Then we have the light in the middle, and there was something on the right side as well, which isn't shown in the photograph here. But yeah, I liked it. If you guys want to check out the video yourself, check it out. Have a look. And these are the things, right? So this is over an airport, and you said the airport was shut down, correct, Frank?
Yep, it was shut down. I'm not sure on how long it was shut down. I think I read a different article where they were there for half an hour, and then they kind of vanished and disappeared, and they booted everything back up afterwards. But you can even see in this UFO Sightings Daily article, they have the official report. It's in Spanish. Can't really read it. I see the times though, 6:30 something appeared, and then I believe 9 o'clock was when everything went back to normal. Just reading the numbers out of that Spanish there, but there you go. Is this more believable now because a bunch of people saw it? Is this consensus of opinion important to you? A ton of people saw it. They shut down the airport. They saw this thing on radar too, so they have some recordings of, I would think, on radar briefly and then flashing away. Do we have to believe it because a bunch of people saw it?
Yeah, if that's the case, we have to. Never mind. I was going to get political, but all right. So we got some good comments here. Kimberly says, "I stopped trusting other people's evidence secondhand unless I see it myself," and she was specifically citing her visitation experience. Ever since I had my own experience, I stopped watching YouTube videos of aliens. Right, because there's a lot of BS, right? There's a lot of clickbait, right? Please tell me. We see it. We're watching for these things, and it just keeps coming up. It's like, come on, really? Like, okay, this could be real, but I'm doubting it, right? I'm doubting it. Thomas says, I'm a scientist and I must have irrefutable proof. Okay, but you're also a time traveler, so we must have irrefutable proof. So call us, 702-957-1037. Go to troublewines.org. Get on Discord. I'm calling you out, Thomas. You contradictory statement guy. Okay, John says, I have plenty of pictures of Ghost of the Penitentiary in Philly, where Frank Sinatra was. Perfect. Let's see him, man. Send him over. troublemindsradio@gmail. Perfect. We got some other good comments here. Hold on. Let's see. Who else said? Fred says. Fred, what's up, Fred? Says, saw one last night over northeast Phoenix. Very cool. And there are hot spots. Come to Vegas. Spend some nights in Vegas watching the sky. You'll see some crazy stuff. Okay. What's up, Wayne? What's up, playa? Right back at you. Hello from Vegas. Let's see. John says, it's amazing what you can't see with the human eye but capture on film. Yeah, that's another thing we've talked about quite a bit. Glenn, what's up? He says, I want to visit Machu Picchu in Peru. So do I. When you set up an expedition, let us know. I'd like to come. Yeah, okay. Okay, more comments. Take the poll, guys. Where do you find yourself on the spectrum? On the spectrum of skeptic or believer? 0 being the total skeptic, you don't believe anything. You're not going to believe any of this unless an alien walks up to you and punches you in the face and abducts you directly, and you're awake for all of it. Or you actually see somebody die, get shot, run over by a tractor, whatever, and then somebody resurrect them. That would be a total skeptic. You don't believe any of this stuff unless it directly happens to you with your own eyes, and you can corroborate with evidence and photographs and video and the whole deal to your own actual thing. Now the other. Let
me interrupt you there.
Go ahead.
Let me interrupt you there briefly, because I think a total skeptic would see these things and still disbelieve them anyway. We've seen example after example of that. People see strange stuff, they write it off. These skeptics, the Skeptoid podcast, they'll take any detail they can, any meaningless detail, any nonsense detail they can, and just like the total believers, they'll spin those nonsense details into a denial of the truth. Like the 9/11, Building 7, all this kind of stuff. They'll take all these little details that aren't really that important, and they'll make them into important information to deny the truth. So I think that's probably a better definition of the total skeptic, is that they're willingly deluding themselves, just like the total believer.
So even if it happened to them, they would still find a way to explain it away. You're going a step further even. You would not believe it at all ever as a 0.
Yeah, I think we've seen those people before, haven't we?
I think so.
We won't name names, but we've definitely seen them.
I think so. Definitely. Okay. So, again, so not only, so this is, okay, now this is weird, right? Because statistics are one of those things that can be spun. You know, you can talk about them 100 different ways. You can, make things up. You can, leave details out, right? Like it's what the media does today. So putting yourself in a statistical box, I know is tough. Okay. But think about it. Like put yourself in a spot. Force yourself into one of these poll spots. Are you a believer or are you a skeptic, and why? And think about the reason why you were one of these things. And then think about what it might take to change your position. from one, say, a 20th percentile to a 60th percentile, one way or the other? What would it take? Yeah, I don't know. Me, myself, I don't even know. This is an ongoing conversation. This is not one that just ends right now. We'll continue this, of course, but I don't know. It's right, like we have all these experiences as we go through life, and they all contribute to this particular thing, one way or the other, right? You meet people, you trust them or you don't, right? You spend a lot of time with good people, so maybe you tend to trust people more. You spend a lot of time with bad people, so maybe you tend to trust people less. I don't know, right? I think all of these life experiences kind of add up and put us in these boxes, in these little categorical percentages, if I can say that correctly. But yeah, you follow me, Frank? You see what I'm saying? Like I think it's not just the things you see and the things that maybe you believe. I think there's other circumstances that are not paranormal or not alien or not anything related, but maybe it shapes us based on our trust of people or whatever else. I don't know. What do you think?
It's hard to tell. Like, I look at stuff like this, the story we we're just talking about. Radar reports, sightings, international airport shutdown. This should be mainstream news. This should be all over the place. It's probably the best confirmation that we'll ever get that there are UFOs, not aliens, but UFOs, unidentified flying objects out there. And no one's going to report on it. Just some strange UFO sightings daily blog that's kind of crackpot, but kind of the truth. No one's going to believe this stuff. And we've been conditioned into that, not so much by people we know and who we trust and bad people, but the media, right? If the mainstream media doesn't talk about this, well, we're not going to believe it. The mainstream media did talk about that Tom DeLonge to the stars, so we're kind of okay with that. A lot of people think that's the proof, but to me, something like this that no one's really covering, well, it's happened in broad daylight, 1 million witnesses. And where's the story? It's nowhere. So it's the media, I think, that's the real problem.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if you have to ask me, if you said, hey, Mike, check this out, you have to pick one aspect of society that is the enemy. Who is it? I'm with you, Frank. It's the media. Number one, it's the media. And one way or the other, the government is involved with them. They're intertwined somehow, some way. And then second would be the government itself. Right, because the media is basically front-facing of the government. They're fed the information, and they try and twist it in such a way to fool us, to make us believe things that aren't real, to make us, to convince us the reality that we live in. Now, check it out. Here's a good example. Tomorrow morning, walk out your front door, wherever you live. Walk out your front door. And take a look to the left, a look to the right, and look up at the sky. And you tell me, are we or are we not in a state of emergency? Are we or are we not in a situation where the media constantly pushes fear, fear, fear in your face, and yet you walk out your front door? Shouldn't there be a riot on the street? Shouldn't there be people shooting each other down the block? Shouldn't there be all of these things, these terrible things that the media tells you constantly happening right when you walk out your front door? And of course, there are some places in the country or in the world where this is true. But you personally walk out your own front door tomorrow and think, are we in a state of emergency? Are we deserving of all the fear-mongering the media tries to rain on our heads and our psyche and our belief systems and everything else? Oh, it seems like an awful lot of horse pucky, let's say. I don't know. What do you think, Frank? How's it look when you walk out your front door in the morning?
Perfectly fine to me. Everything's A-okay, the sun's shining, and it looks great. So, yeah, don't take it too seriously. That's the only way to live, is just relax, take the days as they come, and enjoy your life. But remember, happy farm animals taste good. Just keep that in mind. I just want to put that out there.
That's why the kosher food. Okay, we've got some good comments to read. We have no more calls. We got no calls. We got no Discord. We're going to read some comments here, and take the poll. Remember, are you a complete skeptic? Are you a complete believer? What's going on? Where do you put yourself on that spectrum, and why? Think about why. Like, it's not important where you put yourself now. Think about how you got there, and then also on top of that, think about how or what would make you change. Like if you selected 21 to 50, what would make you change from 51 to 70? Think about those things, right? And these are the things that troubled minds think about on a daily basis. Because what you are today may not be who you are tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? Things change. And they should change based on the evidence you get, right? Nothing is static in this world. Nothing is static in this universe. Entropy is the way of things. Decay. All right? So we only have a finite time here in our lives. However, in that time, we can choose what we believe or what we don't believe. And I think the most important thing is, and the most important question is, why? And where do we fall on that spectrum? Think about it. Think about it. We end up in weird spots sometimes as people. But think about it. You, for yourself, specifically. Not because of me, not because of Frank, not because of anybody in the chat. Think about it. You yourself. There we go. There we go. Got some good comments to read. Anything else, Frank? We're about 2 hours here, so we got a few minutes left as we wind this down. Got some comments, but I don't know how you feel, Frank. You feel more or less?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear those comments. I'm excited to hear the results of that poll too. I'd love to know. So yeah, let's go through it and then wrap it up.
All right. So we got Luke says respectfully, it would take someone with their head in the sand to not see or confirm what happened in New York on 9/11. At least in the building you mentioned, Building 7, we're talking about, of course. This building was not hit by a plane, and yet it managed to drop the ground in the same manner as the Twin Towers. Okay, I did a paper for my BA, and it involved extensive research. From my own understanding, it was entirely an inside job. Okay, so there we go. Thank you, Luke, for the comment. And Michael says the beer's all gone. You're in the wrong house, brother, because we got beer here. Philip says, I agree, Mike. Radar reports will be the solid proof, and the media won't say a damn thing because we were raised to believe they spoke the truth. And there was we were the ones they lied to. So, yeah, there we go. Kelly, what's up? He says, yeah, it's called, Operation Mockingbird. Project Mockingbird. Check it out. If you guys aren't aware of what this is, trust me. I've said this. Todd and I had a lengthy discussion on Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, go join the Discord. There is a lot of good information going on there. You will learn a lot of things. You will come across a lot of people that can maybe straighten things out for you, or maybe open your mind to other things, or that's what we do there. So join the Discord. It's probably the most important part of this community at this point because it's real time, because you can share photographs, you can share links, and we're all together there. You can find me and Frank there. You can find everybody else. A lot of people in the chat are there. Join the Discord. But yeah, those are all good points. And yes, exactly, Kelly. Project Mockingbird, for sure. Okay, Thomas says you should define which government. They are rogue and they are bad government, not good government. There's a big difference. Okay, I'll define this. Ready, Thomas? You ready, Thomas? All the governments. All the governments. There you go. I defined it. All right. You happy about that? Okay. Tons of comments. We can't read all these. Okay. But, yeah. All right. Let's, Thomas says disclosure is coming. Philip says, pull up that video. You won't be disappointed. Again, if we don't have time, this is the thing, right? We don't have time. We just don't have time to do all this. Join the Discord. If you're not on Discord, get your ass there and you can share these things together. We will see what you're sharing. And it's the best way to say, hey, do a show on this, guys. This is amazing. We have tons of information come through there. Please join the Discord. It's the way of things today. It's what all the kids are doing. It's what all the kids and Frank are doing. It's one of those things. It's bringing generations together. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm doing there? All right. So
damn millennials.
Damn millennials. All right. So there we go. We got tons of good. John, what's up? Says I'm a huge believer in seeing a UFO as a kid. That changes your mind, right? It changes where you fit on this scale. Take the poll. Oh, here's the poll. Okay. All right, Frank, check this out. And I think this is incredible, being that this is the type of show we have. We're not a full-on believer show. We're not a full-on skeptic show. We entertain both, and we try and dance in the middle somewhere. We try and take all the information as we get it and parse it as humans, as basic. Well, you know, I'll describe myself as a basic human. You can describe yourself as however you want, but we try and parse this information as humans and get to a conclusion. And it doesn't matter if the conclusion is right or wrong. If it's closer to right or wrong, I think we're doing a good job. And there you go. So, all right. So we've got the poll. What do you think, Frank? Do you think it leaned heavily on believer or heavily on skeptic here?
I think if the people are still listening at this stage in the game, 2 hours in, if they're still listening, it's got to be right down the middle, 50-50, because that's kind of what we are. And if you're putting up with us, you probably have a like mind.
If you're putting up for Frank. I know you guys want to hang out with me, but if you're putting up with Frank, holy smokes. All right, so here we go. We're going to read the poll. 0 to 20, which 0 is skeptic, 100 is full-on total believer. 0 to 20 got 11%. 21 to 50 got 14%. 51 to 70 got 29%, and 71 to 100 got 46%, a whopping 46%. So we've got some believers out there. We've got some believers. And again, like, it's funny, right? You find yourself in this position. You found this show for a reason, right? You didn't find it randomly as a, you know, I'm a physics major and I want to narrow down my understanding of physics in the universe. No, that's not why you're here. You found this show for a reason. You're here listening to this for a reason. And we respect that, because there's some things out there that happen to people that are not explainable. For sure. So, hey, what's up? We'll be back on Thursday. Anything else, Frank? I'm about to cue the outro music, unless there's anybody in Discord that wants to jump on real quick. I'm not sure. Near my eyes, Frank.
No, I didn't see anyone in here. Let's pull open one more page before we go, just real quick. This is a quote. We kind of paraphrased it on a previous show, but I found the source. It's in the bottom of the media folder there. From the CIA director, we'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. So we'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. I think that's pretty telling. I think that's pretty interesting in light of what we talked about. Is they're just spreading disinformation everywhere. They're causing you to believe this and disbelieve that, argue with this person, disagree with that person, believe in this. This is what's happening. And this is where it's coming from. They want to convince you that everything you know is false. You don't know anything. You don't understand anything. And we know where it's coming from. It's coming from these guys, it's coming from the media. I thought we'd pull this up and talk about it. It seems fitting. It's kind of the state we're living in, and this is the directive. This is the source of that problem, these people.
Definitely fitting. So if you look at this, it's this was CIA Director William Casey. And this is the question was, did he really say, quote, "We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false," unquote. And interesting to note, I've linked this if you guys want to check it out. The person who actually brought this to light answered. Barbara Honegger studied at Stanford University, and she says she's the source of the quote, and she was indeed there when this was said by the CIA Director William Casey in February 1981 with the Reagan administration. So there you go. If you think the government's on our side, well, whoa, think again. Think again. All right. Cue in the outro, Frank. Go ahead and start the outro for us, would you?
Yeah, there you go. You just got to think, you can't trust the media. You can't trust these people. Anderson Cooper interned for the CIA. And what are the CIA saying? Well, we just heard it. So don't trust these people. Don't listen and believe to everything you hear. Think. Use your mind. You have a brain for a reason. Take in these diverse opinions. Take in things you disagree with and think about them. It could be witches, it could be resurrections, it could be UFOs, it could be politics. Think, have discussions. That's the only way to move forward. And this is what we're trying to do. We hope you appreciate it. And we always value your input.
There you go, just like Frank said. And not only that, if you join the Discord, you can talk to everybody else who's joined the Discord. And we're of like minds, at least in the sense that we have open minds. We don't shut out one side or the other. We look at the evidence, we look at ourselves, and we try and reconcile the two somehow in some way. And so here we are. Troubled minds. Here's what we do. Alright, so tons and tons of good comments. Sorry we couldn't get to them all. If you want to get your comment in, next time you got a call. So we will be back Thursday night doing a similar show. We're going to talk about all kinds of different things. Hold on, I got to bring up this new blurb. This new thing. Here we go. Let's see. Frank was against it. I thought it was pretty cute. Alright, there we go. So you're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, the magnificent Frank Pierce. I'm a big fan. Join the Discord. Come check us out at troubledminds.org, the official website. Thank you to Sorceress Records for the intro music. Thank you to Radioactive Beats for the outro music. You can find those guys on SoundCloud, friends of the show, donating their time and their work to help us out. We appreciate that a lot. Otherwise, we'll see you Thursday. Thank you for listening. From our troubled minds to yours. Have a great night.